Good morning, everybody. I don't know how well this is going to work. That dadgum camera stand lost the little rubber part. It kind of helps hold that camera in place. So put your seatbelt on in case it goes to falling on us. I'm doing the background area with a cedar of all things. Number, oops, upside down. 642 is what I'm using. Just kind of a little Texas style tooling as opposed to the Sheridan style. After all, I am down here in Texas. Now I got a smaller one I'll come back over there and do in a minute, but for now, and you want to lay these out just like it was a big old, what they call a bar grounder in the Sheridan world. Okay, I got some more to do over here on this front side, but I'm going to not skip it, but just kind of work over here because it's got a good moisture and, well, the camera's right there. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is start in here with some pear shading on these vines. There's a lot of monkey motion here because you want your tool to be at a 90 degree with your leather. If that makes any kind of sense. So yeah, I'm all over the place. Of course, I'm not very well organized. I don't have these tools laid out in any kind of particular order like I should, because, you know, that would just make too much sense, David. All right, here I am right here. What we're doing is pear shading. I see a spot here that I've got to come back in with a smaller cedar to kind of fill in the little V shape that I'm going to have here and there in some different places. Like I said, I'm not going to get too carried away up here. I'm going to double check and show off my cap, haha, and now I'm going to come up here and do this flower, which y'all don't really have a good viewpoint from where I'm at, but it's the next thing to do. I'm just doing 2 side-by-sides. And then I've got a turn back tool I'm going to use. No, I'm not falling over. I'm just kind of trying to get an angle view of all these, there it is, these tools I got laid out so I can see what I'm looking for. When you're working, oh, and I didn't know if I showed, can you see this even? Yeah, what this is in blue is just some old chap leather I had that I cut, sewed up, except for a little bit, then I filled it up with BBs. Bunch of, I bet I got 3 of them big things they sell at Walmart of BBs on there for like a counterweight, because all this thumping I'm doing on this tree saddle and everything is all up here going this way, and it's gonna give it some bounce here and there. So, go ahead and put, no, it won't match. All right, now I need to come do those. There's this one here, thin one. This is still a Pear shader. As opposed to a thumbprint. See how I'm angling it back? Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Now, this bad cat here, and these are called, this is a stop tool. Kind of gives you a teardrop shape. And again, you only want the, gotta angle it. This is a Robert Beard tool, Bob Beard. I use this a lot more than a lot of other people do, just because it's just how I learned it. But the biggest thing I wanted to show y'all, and I'll grab the camera here in a minute, was this bean bag I made. And it's not beans, it's BBs. And I'm getting down here where y'all can't see, so I'll come back to that later. Where's my stem at on this cotton picker? There it is right there. I'll come back to that later. The next step we're gonna do, we'll be doing some swivel knife cuts. I'll do those right here where I can. And then I'll turn you loose. What I gotta find though is my cotton picking little strop piece. Having no idea where that is in this mess of mine. There it is right there. There's one. Nope. Anyway, we'll come back and do that later. Oh, here's one right here. Thank goodness. I found one. This is a ceramic blade. Kind of hard to decide where to start at, by golly. Ooh. That's a crosshatch right there. I gotta cut this down one day. This'll sure make a man's back kind of hurt. Just kind of leaning over like this in all kinds of different directions. One there. Oopsie. Kind of went too far on that one, dadgummit. I like this ceramic blade because it just spreads the leather out. A lot of guys will use a real thin blade. I'm just doing this all nilly-willy. Just kind of going with the feel. It is a kind of a tough way to get around everything. Now, see how I got a little bit of play right there? It's because that leather's wet. And of course, it's been stretched a little bit by my tapping on it. But when I'm all good and done, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use an old bootmaker trick I learned years ago. When I worked for Eli Rios. And that's to mix rubbing alcohol with water. And it'll help, it will draw that up. Not just help it, but it'll actually do it. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and do this one right here, since y'all can see it. That horn's in the way. again, I'll come back and do that later. What I'm going to do next is some mule shoes. There's my big one. Shouldn't have too many of these to do. Fade them out. What's that song I'm thinking about right now? It's better to fade away. Or no, it's, I don't know. I'll hush. I just seen a spot I missed. Some guys don't even do these mule shoes. But again, I'm not trying to be like some guys. I'm trying to be a little different than everybody else. Always check your tool before you hit it to make sure you got it going the right direction. And again, I'm going to leave that for later up here. All right, well, there's a little bit of that, kids. Hope you are having a good President's Day Monday. I'm going to turn y'all loose. Hopefully, I've got a good position still. Yay. Okay. All right, toodaloo, bugaroos. DavidMillsSaddlery.com.